Welcome to Heather's Treasures. This is my workspace and it is a total mess. It's chaotic. I can't work here anymore. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean off my desk and separate all the items by like items because there's just not enough room on my counter. So my solution is I'm going to go up the back wall. So here is my work area, all cleaned off. And now the first thing I need to do is measure that back wall dimension top to bottom and side to side so that I can start building the back frame and the floor space. I've added contact paper to the countertop, something neutral, so that it looks clean. I'm doing some prep work here. My shelves that are going to be horizontal need some bracers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out some 1/2-inch strips out of my scrap and I'm going to glue them together. So that's what we're doing now. We're just prepping for the bracers when we move this over and do the shelves. This is foam board from the Dollar Tree. I just buy cheap. Okay, this is reptile glue. I got it off of Amazon, and being here in Wisconsin in frozen tundra, we've had -degrees for several weeks. We actually had 19 degrees one morning, and it felt warm. Anyway, it was frozen, so I contacted the lady that owns this company. I guess she's a company. Anyway, what a nice lady. She told me that she did tests by freezing it for 2 days in the freezer, and then she warmed it up in a cup of warm water, and it was kind of clumpy, so she recommends not to buy it during the winter if you have really cold winters like we do. And in the meantime, while I was waiting for her to reply, it took it about 2 to 3 feet away from my Vornado. It's a little space heater, and I set it on low, on the lowest heat setting, just to keep the chill off of the room here in the basement. So I set this in about 2 to 3 feet away from it, and about 15 minutes later I came and I turned it halfway, and so far so good. I haven't had any clumping like she said that could happen. It's really good glue. I've been using it on paper so far and foam board so far, and it's been really awesome. I haven't done the comparison of the Tight Bond Quick and Thick for pricing. It's a little smoother than Tight Bond. You know, it doesn't matter to me as long as I get the same end result. Okay, so we'll let that dry. Okay, so now I need a 6-inch wide shelf because that's how wide I'm going to make all my shelves. Oh, that's almost perfect. So I'll use this, and we'll measure out some more 6-inch pieces. Okay, we'll be back in about a half hour to check and see if these are dry. Okay, so I measured my first cubby hole, and I want it 13 inches wide by 6 inches deep. So I've cut this 13 by 6 and this 6 by 6, and I've got 3 bracers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these down across the bottom, because when it sits like this on the wall, up against the back of the wall, I want to create some stableness to this foam board, because if I put something on this and it's just a little heavy, I don't want it bowing or breaking. a piece of scrap paper. I got this off of Amazon. It was the cheapest I could find, yet kind of classic looking with black and white. Okay, so back to this. Now we got 6 inches wide, a half inch. So we're gonna go 3, 4, 6, 7. We're gonna go at least 8 inches wide. So I think what I'll do is I will cut this down to 9 just to give myself enough. Okay, let's measure and see if I screwed up here. So this should be 6 inches. Put this on here. I want that glue to stick to the back wall. My walls are not very straight. That's all right. It's mine. And it's going to be one of a kind. Custom built wall unit. Okay, after this dries, I'm going to take it over back to my station and I'll set up the camera and we will make a box. Okay, I had an idea of using my paper towel holder to hold some of my tools like this. So I've got some categories here. I've got my wooden tools, my silicone tips and ball styluses, and some paintbrushes. I'm going to try to get 3 out of this. So I'm going to measure this. It is 10.5 inches. So if I do 3.5, I should be good. So I'm just going to draw a line around. I need 3 of these. And they don't have to be perfect. Okay, I got these finished. I could only fit so many in each one. So now what I think I'll do is they're kind of wobbly, so I think what I'll do is I'll glue them to my shelf here. Okay, so on the top, if you remember in the picture, in the beginning picture, I had some cubby holes. I removed all of that, and I'm going to build up that shelf so that it comes out further, and then I can set my UV light and my toaster oven right up there. That'll all be in one spot. So now I've glued these in place. These are not going anywhere. And I built a box for this stuff. And I will get some like items here, and I'll show you how I built that box. Now over here, this is my pan of things that are left over that I need to still separate. So I think what I'll do is I will make a box that will fit my pan pastels. So we'll take these over because these are all together. Don't need that. So now we will figure out how tall each one is. This is the tallest. So we're going to go in 8, we're going to make an 8-inch. We're going to make the base of the box 8 inches by 5.5. Okay, so we've got, let's get these out of the way. 8 by 5.5, and I want 2.5-inch sides. So that'll be 5 inches per side. So 8 5 is 13 by 10.5. So I need a piece of paper that size. I've also cut a piece of foam board because these are actually heavy. So I want to make sure that the base is very stable. All right, I've got 2 pieces of this scrapbooking paper. I inherited a whole pile of it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop some of this off because I don't need all of it. This is 12 inches and I only need 13, so I'm just going to come in and cut some off so I can have a manageable working piece. All right, now I need to get this out of my way, and I need 13 by 10.5, so I'm going to use contact paper for this one. Let's just cut 12 inches. Now we're going to peel this off so we don't have to, if you peel the paper off, the backing off, your contact paper will lay flat. Well, in theory. So let me get this straightened out here. Ugh. Okay. Now, let's take our contact paper, and it doesn't matter which way you lay it down. Oh, I didn't cut off enough. That piece was curved. All right. We'll make do. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut this off so it doesn't stick to me. Get rid of that. Now we need to bring this back. And we need 10.5 by 13. So 10.5. Get that butted up right up against that. No, we want to do it this way. And now we can cut that. So now we've got 12 right at that fold. So I'm just going to mark that at 8. And score this at 9. So that'll be 13. Oh no. Did I do 10.5? Yes, I did. Whew, that's scary. Oh. I was butting it in there. So now we've got 10.5 by 13, and we're going to cut that off. I think I did that wrong. I did it wrong. That's all right. I'll just make the sides shallower. I just got to figure out how much I need. I need 2.5, so 1 1/4, 2.5. I'm going to flip it over. We're going to do the same thing here. And we're going to do that with this side. Okay, now, let's see if I can do this right. I'm going to fold in everywhere I put a score. All right, so now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut up. We're going to go in. We're going to cut up here, up to the second score mark. It's kind of hard to see. There it is right there. So now then we're going to come in like that. And since this is going to be cut, this has to be a fold. So we're going to miter here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on this side. And cut right there. So I'm going to miter up to that first fold. You have to visually see this in your head before you actually start, I think. And now we're going to miter that. I won't miter it as much. And now we need to cut straight up this side right here. Okay? So now we have a flap. We're going to do the same exact thing on this side. We're going to cut up to that first corner at a miter. Straight up to that second. And get a visual. Cut straight up to the first corner. Actually, no, I was going to miter that. It's easy enough to fix. Now this is straight, so now we're going to cut this at a miter. Just a slight one. And now we're going to cut right there at that fold. So now we have 2 flaps. We're going to do the same exact thing on this side. Okay? Now we need some glue. I'm going to put a little glue here. A little glue here. I'm going to fold that up and bring that right to the edge so that it creates a nice corner. I'm just going to hold that for a second. And I may rebuild this box for the pan pastels because once I get that foam board in there, it's going to make it awful shallow. So I'm just making a nice crease. And if you want to, you can take your bone folder, give it a press. Make sure that those did not shift. Now we're going to do the same thing to this side. Now I've got my pan pastels in a box. Don't have a place to put it yet. I need to build another shelf, which is what I was going to go into next as far as talking it through, or as we did earlier. I built my shelf here, and now what I'll do is I will build another shelf to fit this section here, and then these can go on that shelf there, so they will sit like that. If I decide to go further up on this side, I'll have to build a shelf right here. So I'll probably put another partition right there, because you don't want too much stress on these bracers that I made right here. So my heavy stuff is on the bottom. This may actually go on the bottom somewhere, because this stuff over here is all lightweight. This is lightweight. This is fairly, well, not anymore with the tools. But anyway, that's how I do it. I'm just using whatever I've got. If you have cardboard boxes, let me show you what you would need to do. Let's say your cardboard box has been broken down and it's nice and flat and you've got all these creases, right? So you'll lay glue you see the creases? You'll lay glue all along this, and these will be vertical. And then your next piece that has creases, you want them to be horizontal. So you'll lay glue all over this, lay that down on there, give it a good press, hold it until it's nice and stable, and then you can cut out your size. You don't have to have foam board. You can use whatever you've got. And we all have cardboard boxes, let's face it, right? And you can use contact paper, you can use your scrapbooking paper, you can make your own out of newspaper or paper bags and just Mod Podge it on to give it a stiffer feel. You want stable. So anyway, there you have it, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm just breaking it down one section at a time. So if you have a workspace that does not give you enough workspace to hold everything that you have, take the back side and go up the wall with it. And this happens to be a workbench, but even if it didn't have a back, I would still build this, and I would actually go as high as I could go with this system or method. Because let's face it, we none of us have enough floor space, right? So we have to go up the walls to get organized. And I can't afford to go out and buy those really cool units. So I'm taking what I have in my house, aside from the contact paper. I actually did order that. And while I was waiting for it to come, I had gotten this one at Walmart. This is a really sticky contact paper. And I do like it. As always, guys, I thank you so much for watching and sticking with me through to the end. This is not an overnight thing. Just wanted to let you know, this is going to take me a while because I have other things that I have to do too, right? So don't forget to like and share if you really enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the little bell to get notified every time I upload a video so you can learn all kinds of DIYs. So till next time, love you. Bye-bye.